Hello everyone, I am Venus Frank and you are watching Laputra YouTube channel and today we are discussing about the topic Article 266 and 267 of the Indian Constitution, and nowadays we have many doubts regarding those topics. I hope this video will clear all your doubts. And moving on to the topic, Article 266, clause 1 of the Indian Constitution mention about the Consolidated Fund of India. The Consolidated Fund is the most important fund in India, and it includes direct and indirect taxes and loans taken by the government. Direct and indirect taxes, which means the personal income tax, corporation tax, and wealth tax. Then the indirect tax, which means sales tax and custom tax. Then next is returning of loans and interests of loans to the government that was paid by the anyone or the agency that has taken in it. That was all included in the Consolidated Fund of India. The government want to meet all the government expenditures, all its expenditures like construction of roads, bridges from this fund. Salaries and allowances of President, Lok Sabha Speaker, Rajya Sabha Chairman and Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha and Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, Supreme Court and High Court judges and Lokpal and CAG. All these sections, salaries and allowances was taken from the Consolidated Fund of India, and the government need prior permission from the Parliament to take money from this fund, and each state have similar accounts, and the CAG, that is Comptroller and Auditor General of India, audits all these funds and reports to the relevant legislatures on their management. Then next is Public Account Fund. Public Account Fund is mentioned under Article 266 subclause clause 2 of the Indian Constitution. All other public money other than those covered under the Consolidated Fund of India received by or on behalf of the Indian government are credited to this account, and this is made up of bank savings account, remittance, national savings fund and defense fund. The government does not need any permission to take money from this account. Each state have similar provisions regarding dealing with the similar accounts, and the audit of all the expenditure from the public account is taken by the CAG. And next is Contingency Fund of India. Contingency Fund of India is mentioned under Article 267 Clause 1 of the Indian Constitution, and contingency, which means emergency. The fund is required at the time of emergency to meet all the expenditures. And 2005 it was in 50 crore and was raised from 50 crore to 500 crore in 2005. Then it is a nature of an interest, that was a money maintained for a specific purpose, and the Secretary of Finance Ministry holds this fund on behalf of the President of India. This fund is used to meet all requirements that was unforeseen and unexpected expenditure of India. And next is similarly, each state can have its own contingency fund established under Article 267 Clause 2 of the Indian Constitution. This is in a nature of interest placed at the disposal of the governor to enable him or her to make advances to meet urgent or unforeseen expenditure and pending authorization by the state legislature. Approval of legislature for such expenditure and for withdrawal of an equivalent amount from the consolidated fund is subsequently obtained, and whereupon the advances from the contingency fund are recouped to the fund. The corpus varies across states and quantum is decided by the state legislatures. Then these are the three funds of the central government. And next we are moving to the topic Controller General of Accounts and Controller and Auditor General of India. We definitely know these two bodies, because when we talk about the contingency fund and the consolidated fund and public accounts, we definitely know about what is the difference between CGA and CAG. And CGA is the Controller General of Accounts, and it's a principal accounting advisor to the Government of India, and it was responsible for establishing and maintaining a technically sound management accounting system. It also prepares and submits the account of central government. It also in charge of exchequer in control and internal audit. And CGA is an independent body. It's a not independent body and not constitutional body. And CGA performs function of maintaining them. And CAG, that is Controller and Auditor General of India, is a constitutional body and independent body, and President lays down certain general principles of government, a government accounting on CAG's advice. Then CAG is the Controller and Auditor General of India, and CGA is the Controller General of Accounts. These all about the topic Article 266 and 267 of the Indian Constitution. I hope all your doubts will cleared, and see you in next video. Bye.